Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Tom from UDS with another edition of the Quarantine Sessions, where I chat to people a lot cooler than myself in the wonderful land of lockdown. Now, my guest this week is an alternative pop-punk trio from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, who pride themselves on energetic live shows and crafting songs you'll be humming all day. They're destined to be on your summer soundtrack. It is my pleasure to introduce the most handsomest band performing today, Sorry Ghost.
She said, get going, with no sign of slowing up. And all the words I had were never quite enough. And I can't stand to see you waste another day. Potential in your bones will leave you if you stay.
Hey everyone, I don't know if we can live up to that intro, but we're going to try.
I have no doubt you will. I have no doubt. So obviously we live in very, very strange times. How are you all getting by at the moment?
I think, I'd say here's my hot take, my unpopular opinion here. I'm kind of living my best life in this quarantine situation. Just because so much time to write music. I'm fortunate enough, I still have my full-time job that I'm working remotely. So yeah, I've been doing all right. But
Right on. What about the other guys?
Yeah, I've been pretty busy just studying, so it hasn't changed too much for me. So studying and then just working on this music stuff, it's been insane. We have so much more free time, but not being able to go outside and do a whole bunch of stuff, It was rough for a little while, but it seems to be.
Yeah, I mean, we're all just creatures of habit. I mean, I haven't left the house in like 3 weeks, and they've loosened the lockdown here. I'm just comfortable, just like chilling out at home now. So
it's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's strange. But for the unfortunate few who might not have heard of you, would you mind just quickly introducing Sorry Ghost?
Yeah, Matt, you wanna do that?
Sure. So I'm Matt. I'm the guitar. I guess I don't need to say lead or rhythm. I'm the only guitarist in Sorry Ghost from Baton Rouge, and then we got Dan.
Yes, I'm Daniel, also known as Dan, and yeah, I am the lead singer and bassist for Sorry Ghost. We are pop punk alternative band out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and we've been doing it now for a few years, and no one really cared for the longest time, and now like a dozen people do. So
it's a 1,200% increase in interest. So
there you go.
Sure. Well, and then I'm Tyler. I'm the drummer. I just hit stuff with sticks, so that's my job.
You also, play drums in the band.
Right. Yeah.
Of course.
He's the master of all stick-related trades.
All stick-related trades.
That is a good thing to put on your resume. So I have to ask: are you apologizing to the ghost, or is it the ghost who is sorry?
So the debate of whether or not there's that comma between sorry and ghost is a raging debate since we decided to change our name on a whim 5 minutes before a show.
Yeah,
and I think we've landed on definitely no comma. Now, who exactly we're apologizing to, or whether it's an apology, or if it's a sorry ghost is an object, is the debate. So one of our backwards descriptions after we come up with the name was that we're big fans, or at least I am, of the Swedish band Ghost. Our dream, we're like, we want to be Ghost, but we know that we're doing a pretty piss poor job of living up to their legacy. So we just want to go ahead and open with an apology to them directly that, sorry, Ghost, we can't be you, but we're trying our best.
That is a terrific reason to have a band name.
Yeah.
So do you mind me asking why you had to change your band name 5 minutes before a show?
Dan, you want to grab this?
Yeah. So originally, the band name, when Matt and I started it, our freshman year of college, it was just Sorry, and it was SARI, like the Indian garb, and this was back before we understood that was problematic, because no one in the band is Indian or of Southeast Asian origins. So we realized that was an issue, and that the name was entirely not Googleable. Like, you type in sorry and it's like, welcome to so-and-so's sorry shop. What would you like to buy? And so we were like, okay, this is because I honestly believe the most important thing these days for a band's name, it has to be Googleable.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we 5 minutes before a show, we were like, because we had a decent crowd there. We were like, we got to announce it. This would be a good time to announce. And I remember, we were just kind of sitting in the waiting room, the green room. And we were like, I don't know, maybe we could just say like, sorry, Ghost. I mean, it really did just sort of materialize out of nowhere.
I mean, it's a great name. It's a great name.
Thank you.
And I absolutely appreciate the whole, search engine optimization element of naming stuff, because we're Upside Down Shark, and you have to scroll through a literal page of upside down literal sharks before you get to us. So that was a mistake. We learned the hard way, but it sounds like you did the right thing. But obviously, we're all friends here. And in the effort of just to become better friends, get to know each other a little bit better, I have to ask each of you, if you could be a type of sandwich, what sandwich would you be?
Peanut butter and jelly, no doubt.
Tyler.
No doubt. I had to grab that before someone else, though.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what kind of jelly. I'd like to be able to switch it up, but man, if I had to pick one, I've just been on Marmalade. That stuff is so good. I just found out about it like yesterday.
That is a big deal over here.
I was going to say, just because we're doing an interview with the UK publication.
No, it's because I watched Paddington 2.
What a great film.
It's the greatest movie of all time.
Give me some clotted cream over here, please.
Oh man,
Vegemite.
It's
or is it Marmite over there?
It's Marmite. Australia is Vegemite. Neither are good. Neither are good. They literally, Marmite is so bad they have to market it that you either love it or hate it. I don't know any other brand that suggests you may hate it before you buy it. So,
you saying you don't like salty dirt on your sandwiches?
I mean, yeah, but not Marmite. But yes, I mean, it's interesting. I love this question because it sounds dumb, but some people take it as just their favorite sandwich, but some people take it as like a Rorschach personality test of like, what sandwich best represents my personality. So did you say what yours was, Dan? I can't remember.
Mine, let me think. Mine would probably be like, all right, okay, I've got it actually. My favorite sandwich is a good Cuban, like a good Cuban sandwich, but that does not, like, it's just not representative of me. So I would say, I feel like my like soul sandwich would be like a chicken Parmesan sub.
That's tight. I can get on board with that.
Looks really appetizing, and then halfway through you're like, I feel incredibly nauseous.
Right. It's like all my relationships, yeah.
You're like, are you full of mozzarella cheese? Because I do not feel well.
Wow, this is definitely a personality test. But anyway, have we covered everyone's sandwich? This is an important thing I feel like we need to take off.
Matt.
I hate to go with the cop out of favorite sandwich, but also most accurate. But I feel like I would be a Reuben sandwich.
Oh, that a man after my own heart. A man after my own heart. Reuben is my favorite sandwich.
Gotta be me. Gotta keep it kosher.
Absolutely, absolutely. So at the time of recording, your latest album, The Morning After, has been out for just over a month and a half now. What can people who haven't checked it out expect from this release?
Let's see. I would say, I mean, I thought Tyler put it best when he was like a roller coaster of emotions. And I honestly, okay, so we did a review and an interview with a publication called Melodic Magazine. And Christine there, she wrote like this incredible review that then as I was reading it, I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think, like, she wrote it like 19 layers deep, and she was like, this album makes so much sense. It's this story of this guy who like starts in his relationship and it's back and forth, and then basically tries to get her back, and then in the end he realizes the finality of it and moves on. And I was like, wow, that's totally not at all what I was like even thinking about. But that's exact. Now I'm gonna take that and say that's for sure what I was doing as an artist.
So you've basically reverse engineered a concept album.
I was about to say we accidentally wrote a rock opera, I think is what it is.
Very nice, very nice.
It took an excellent review for us to realize our genius, but here we are.
That's what the best reviews do. So I think I read somewhere that you'd started recording this album all the way back in 2018. Is that correct? How did you find sort of recording over such a lengthy period of time?
So it's actually kind of funny. The recording process originally wasn't even like, let's go into the studio and let's do an album. We had sort of just gotten on the train of like, all right, small bands and small artists should release only singles, because it costs so much to record like a whole album, that if you record an entire album and then you release an album, you've basically wasted like 11 songs worth of content all at once instead of sort of stretching it out. So like, we're going to go in to the studio and record. So we went to our good friend Jonathan DeLeese's studio in Kenner, Louisiana, and we're like, we're going to record 6 songs and we're just going to release them one at a time as a single. And then maybe once they're done, we'll release them as an EP, just so it can all be in one place. So we did that. We got about 4 songs in over like 5 or 6 months later. And then we were like, we have more songs we'd like to record now that we now like even more, or as much as the ones that we are still sitting on. So we're like, let's get back in and we'll just keep releasing them as singles. And long story short, we basically unintentionally recorded an album in 2 separate sessions about a year apart. So there was like 2 to 3 weeks of recording, like off and on straight for the first 6. And then the last 5, it was the same thing, but almost exactly a year later. And then by the time we had that, we had like 11 songs that we're looking at, and we're like, well, now it feels silly not to release an album because we have 11 songs. Like doing 11 singles over like 2 years would be ridiculous. So we're like, let's just release an album and just kind of see how it goes.
That's right. Cool. So are those blocks of songs, if you will, are they mixed in together? Are they sort of interspliced, or are they sort of one half of the album and then the other half? So I'm not quite sure which way you recorded them.
It's a total grab bag, honestly. Like I'd say, going through the track listing, like the first song is from the first session, the second and third are from the second session, and then like it goes like it's kind of random. Basically, once we had the 11 songs, we were like, how can we make these songs sort of flow in the most like musical and narrative sense possible as a whole piece, rather than as 5 songs and then 6 songs.
Right. And I mean, they all kind of flow together. They all kind of fit. And as you can tell, Tom, the common theme here is just unintentionally stumbling into releases. We're like, look at that. We put out an album.
I fully respect that, because that is the way I live my life.
Yeah.
So obviously, no one can tour at the moment, and that sucks. But looking back to better times of the past, you've toured and, you've played live, and obviously already have some pretty cool stories that we've already heard, such as renaming yourself 5 minutes before playing live. But have you got any other crazy stories from playing live that you could share with the world?
Oh yeah.
Olu? Are we doing Olu?
Yeah, we gotta do Olu. So this is a shout out to our main man Olu in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He's this like enigma of a man that he came from. Matt, was it someplace in like West Africa?
I think so, either West or East Africa. But the specific note is that he's not from Jamaica, but he owns a Jamaican reggae bar.
Okay.
In Baton Rouge, which, like, first of all, Baton Rouge has a very small live music scene. And then he like cornered the market on reggae music and he opened up this bar, kind of like in the middle of nowhere. And it's just like this building in a field. And then on the side, he painted a giant lion with like red, green, and yellow, kind of like the Rastafarian colors. And, so he has all these reggae bands, and then I just relentlessly email and call people to get us to play on shows anywhere, and like I remember a couple of years ago I was just emailing him and like, hey, we're a pop punk band, can we play at your reggae bar? And he was like, yeah, sure, that works. And so we set up the show and everything, and like honestly we probably played there 3, maybe even 4 times, and each time it's a ton of fun because tickets are like $5. All of our friends come, and any of our bands in Baton Rouge, and there's an outside space. And so you play, and it's kind of like a nice outdoor party type thing. And Olu, though, he's such a character that he like before we played a show, he emailed me and he goes, what's your fans' favorite drink? And I was like, oh, like our collective fans' favorite drink? I don't know. So I know nothing about alcohol because I don't drink. And so I was like, let's make a cocktail with pink lemonade and gin. And call it a sorry ghost. And then apparently everyone ordered it that night and they like had to say, I'd like a sorry ghost. And they're like, this drink is horrible. You should never have combined pink lemonade and gin. And I didn't realize apparently it's pink lemonade and vodka is the more common one. And so now the legend is like he at his bar, he has the sorry ghost that you could still order today.
And it's still pink lemonade and gin.
It's still
no, it's not changing.
No, we've committed.
So what you're saying is you sound better than you taste.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'd say in every respect. That's true.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that one was probably, I mean, that's one of many Olu stories. The other one is he cooked us some Jamaican jerk chicken after a show. He like randomly had a barbecue pit outside and he cooked it and Matt and I bit into it and it was like totally still raw.
Oh no.
And so of course we were like, we're gonna finish this later, but thank you so much for this delicious chicken. And I mean it was spiced well, wasn't it, Matt? Like it
was 100% worth the salmonella. I mean,
I was gonna say that's something.
Yeah.
And
I do think it's worth pointing out. I think we may have mentioned it, but if not, the name of the bar is Culture Bar, or on the side of the building it says the Culture Club, which I like to think is like a very strange Boy George reference.
Yeah.
He's like, this is the Culture Club. I know it has nothing to do with Boy George music wise, but we're a reggae club and I love Boy George.
So it's a, let me get this straight. It's a reggae bar named after famous 80s pop sensation Boy George that also hosts pop punk gig nights.
Basically, I'd like to think the Boy George connection is a genuine one. I think it's a coincidence.
I refuse to believe it's a coincidence. Well, it's got to be real.
There's no way he'd name it after Boy George's band and not be like, I love Boy George and I love reggae. So
there you go. This sounds like an amazing place. I really want to go there at some point. So maybe if I'm ever in Baton Rouge, we can all have a sorry ghost and hate our lives. But anyway, obviously. Here at UDS, we don't just talk about music, we talk about the breadth of pop culture. So we talk about movies, we talk about video games, everything and more. So with that in mind, if you could have one of your songs featured in anything, what would it be?
Yeah, that's a really good question, man.
Literally anything?
Oh yeah, it could be like something that already exists in the past, like if you have like a movie that you think your songs would suit, or it could be, I don't know, even like a wrestling theme or something like that, anything and more.
Oh, I got one. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2.
Boom. Nice.
That's what I was thinking.
Great answer. And then we'll be able to sustain a career throughout the entire 2000s.
That's still remastering, by by the way. I don't know if you guys saw that. Released it like 2 days ago.
I'd like to get on the remastered.
I'd like to speak to management, please.
I'd like to
Mr. Hawk. Yeah, I mean, that would definitely be amazing because, as you say, those bands, like, I can't think of Goldfinger without thinking of Tony Hawk now. And so many of those bands are a soundtrack of a generation because of those games. I wish because what I've heard, they might put a few new songs in the new game, but it's going to be predominantly the old soundtrack. I wish there was a section of just new songs, just to bring a whole new generation of bands the same effect that they gave to those bands back in the 90s and early 2000s.
Right. Yeah.
It would be cool. It would be cool. But speaking of cool things like that, what is left to do on your band bucket list to like achieve?
Well, I think I've always just really wanted to get out touring, and obviously now that's really hard to do. And we've played like regional shows around like the Southeast and stuff. But yeah, I just have this image of me, just like strolling through the Midwest, writing my songs. And I'm sure it's romanticized because in reality, it would probably be like, I hate Matt and Tyler at this point, and like I miss my home.
Writing a song.
Yeah. But I really would like to tour. And I mean, I think we're fortunate in that we kind of have, because of the internet, like a pretty sprawled out fan base. So I think it would just be awesome to be able to actually kind of get around the US at least and really meet, even if it's just a couple people in each state, just to really kind of bring Sorry Ghost to the people.
That'd be awesome. I mean, we'd love to have you over here in the UK and share some marmalade sandwiches or something.
Yeah, we look forward to it. It'll happen, I'm sure. Yeah.
I hope so. So here at UDS, we, especially in times like this, we love to advocate positivity. And one of the ways I like to do that is with inspirational quotes. One of my favorites is, "I can't believe I ate the whole thing." Because if you keep reminding yourself, you will eventually eat the whole thing and you'll surprise yourself, and it works with anything in life. I don't know where I'm going with this, but the question is, what is your inspirational quote to share with the world? My brain stopped working there for a second. I'm very sorry.
See, that seemed like a surprisingly coherent thought, considering how unsure of yourself you were. Like, I was the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this. But anyway, inspirational quotes. Have you got any that you'd like to share with the world?
I'm sure there's one deep in there. You guys got something, right? Let's see.
Oh man.
Well, Tyler's usually like our genuine source of optimism and actual inspiration. So I feel like, Tyler, do you have one? I feel like yours would be like, if at first you don't succeed.
Wow. I mean, the only one that keeps popping in my head is just because of The Office, is you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. Wait, that's just so
Michael Scott.
Yeah, Michael Scott. But I don't know. That's such a like a typical one. I'm trying to think of one that's like,
Maybe mine would be like, honestly, like, if it hurts to pee after 3 days, like, you should probably go get it checked out.
Yeah, that is good advice.
We should have known Daniel's advice would involve penicillin.
I feel like there's another story in there somewhere.
That's for a different day, Tom.
Very good. For when the cameras have stopped rolling.
Right.
Back around to this is we're back into themes of the album, and it's a recurring theme in there.
I can't wait for the hit single "It Hurts to Pee." Anyway, no one can plan for the rest of the year really with the situation in the world at the moment, but obviously the world keeps moving, and the best you can, what does the rest of 2020 have in store for Sorry Ghost?
Matt, you go.
We're all just like waiting for someone to take the reins. So right now, honestly, based on the I hate to say overwhelmingly positive reaction that we got from the album, because it sounds like we weren't expecting it, but genuinely it was a much better reaction than I guess we could have even anticipated ourselves. We immediately were like, well, now we've released all of the music that we have. So now if we want to have any sort of momentum, we need to immediately start writing more songs. So at the moment, our at least what we've been doing almost since like April 2nd, the day after the album came out, is we're all in different places right now. I mean, Dan is still in DC. I lived in DC until the virus started. So now I'm back home in Baton Rouge, and then Tyler is in New Orleans. So we're remotely trying to write songs, and we're sort of figuring out that it's not as it's obviously not as conducive as all being in the same room, but it's not as hard as we thought it would be, just sending like voice memos back and forth. So our goal at the moment is to try to like sort of piece together some songs while several hundred or several thousand miles apart, and try to actually have something that if we can all get in one room again soon, actually try to have some new material so we can have some singles and maybe an EP.
Awesome.
And we're also like, we have actually a couple things that I don't think like legally or contractually we're allowed to mention yet, but very soon very soon we can mention
May 22nd, 3 days, right?
May 22nd, this Friday, we're gonna drop a big announcement.
Oh dang. If I remember to edit this and this does go out after that, you will see the announcement here. But no, it sounds like you got some exciting stuff on the horizon. I do wonder how many albums and EPs are going to come out collectively from the quarantine, because obviously so many people have got nothing else to do. No one can tour, so everyone's writing. So I think there's going to be an absolute wave of music coming out of this.
Definitely.
Right. Yeah. There is.
It's one of the few silver linings, I guess, for the situation. But obviously, as we sort of meander towards the end of the interview, we are UDS, which stands for Upside Down Shark. Don't ask me why. You got a better story with Sorry Ghost. This is just the name that we went with, and we're in too deep to change it now. But with that in mind, what are your favorite sharks? And they could be real, they could be fictional, anything you like, but what would be your favorite sharks?
Mako shark, hands down. Oh gosh, I really like sharks, but Mako or maybe lemon sharks, because they're pretty gentle creatures. They're not trying to bother anyone, but Makos swim so fast. I think those boys can hit like 40 miles per hour underwater.
It's the eyes as well. They have such big eyes.
Yeah. So my answer is Mako and or lemon, depending on the day.
There you go. Lemon flavored Mako shark.
Yeah.
It's a delicacy.
Delicious. What about you guys?
I think so. I went on a vacation to Belize, and while like it's easy to say like great white and all the big
basic
hammerhead stuff. Well, listen, but no, I'm saying I think nurse, because when we were in Belize, when we were scuba diving and like snorkeling, we got to like grab the fin and like ride the shark in underwater.
You literally rode a shark.
But yeah, you can hold the fin. The tour guide was like, he like
that's amazing.
Yeah,
right.
Cool to see that.
Part of the problem.
I have questions of the moral, ethical implications, but at the same time, that's the most heavy metal thing I can think of. That's like something that's something Dr. Evil would do.
Yeah.
Tyler's trying to backpedal. He's like putting his like shark saddle off in the background. He's like, I got this thing. He's like,
we don't support SeaWorld. Yeah.
It was in the ocean. Come on. I'm trying to justify it, but
you just have a shark in your bathtub, don't you?
Of course.
He took one. Yeah,
put it in my suitcase.
He was an actual nurse. He's like, this is going to help me with med school. Like, so prepared.
Fantastic. What about you, Matt?
I'd have to say either definitely a Sharknado or the animatronic shark from the original Jaws. Because I don't know if you've seen that movie lately, but like it's so funny to me that movie was terrifyingly frightening back in the like 70s when it came out, because you see the shark and you're like you can see like gears, like it's not a convincing shark. And I love it for that. That's all I need. It's trying its best, and that's all you can ask of it.
Yeah.
There you go. It's iconic. I think that they did well not showing you much of the shark until like the last 10 minutes. Because
They showed the shark in the first 5 minutes, you'd be like, this is a comedy, right? Like this is
yes, I absolutely agree. Well, that is all I've got. So all I've got left to ask is, where can people find you online?
Yes, we are at Sorry Ghost Band for Twitter, Instagram, and then obviously we're on Spotify. I think Tyler just made us a TikTok, which we're about to begrudgingly enter the world of. And Tyler, what's the username for that?
Oh, I didn't make it yet, but we were just talking about it. This is
the big announcement for Friday.
I'll make it right now.
This is it.
Okay, you get to make the username. Tom, what's the username going to be?
Oh boy,
right side up shark.
Sorry, Ghost Lemon Shark.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of other things now. Sorry, Ghost _ Marmalade Boys. I'm going to leave this to you guys because I'm bad at on this one. But anyway, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you today. thank you so much for your time.
Yes, thank you so much, Tom, for having us, and Upside Down Shark. You guys do cool stuff, so
thank you so much.
We're really, really happy to be on today.
Thank you so much. And anyone listening at home, make sure to listen to The Morning After wherever you find good music. Hit subscribe for more interviews with other cool people where I ask them what their favorite sandwiches are. We don't normally talk about Marmalade this much. That's a treat just for you today. And yeah, we will catch you next time. I'm bad at outros. Bye.